Hey everyone, welcome back to Works Garage. Today's video will be a deep cleaning of my GR86 after a track day. If you have not seen my GR experience track day video, please check that video out. Let's get this started. Today's video is supported by my Amazon affiliate link in the description below. Please check out that list, as it will have parts I may have already installed in past videos, and it will have a curated list of other products I recommend. I really appreciate your support. Now let's get back to the video. As you can hopefully tell here, and maybe it's my being anal, but it is dusty and starting to get water spots and dirty under the hood here. So we're going to spray some engine cleaner under the foaming engine cleaner under here. We're going to clean the wheels like I was saying with the product I recommend. It is pretty dirty to my standards, maybe not to some of you guys. It did get some kind of muddish in the fender wells here, so we'll see what we can do here. Not sure if that's going to come across very good in the video, as it is in the shade and kind of dark here. But yes, I did get some kind of muddish in the fender wells. The car's just severely water spotted and dusty. It did rain after the track, so we'll see here what it's going to come out like. And the wheels, of course, have a lot of brake dust on them. These are the products I'm using. There will be an affiliate link in the video description. If you want to order or use any of this product, please check those links. It would greatly help this small channel here. For cleaning the wheels, I like the Daytona Speed Brush. Really gets back in the barrels on the rims really good. I like the Detail Factory brushes. That's what this one is. It's my first one I've purchased. This it could get in your fender wells if you had the tire off, or a 4x4. It can also clean under the hood for brushing when you're cleaning the motor. There's a smaller wheel brush, just a generic one. I'm going to replace it someday with a Detail Factory brush like this one, only a smaller version. I recommend for a lot of my rags, I use the Rag Company. This is a mitt here that you can wash your wheels with. This is just a generic sponge thing to wash the car down with, a mitt. I recommend the P&S brake blaster for cleaning your wheels. It really works wonders. And for washing the car, I like the Adams Mega Foam. Does not take a lot to get the car washed. And I use the 2-bucket method. I know you're going to say, geez, he's using some crappy buckets, chemical guys. Some guys like chemical guys, some guys don't. I don't really use chemical guys anymore. I tried them before. Their product is kind of an average product, not a low end, but more average. I'm using their buckets because a bucket is a bucket to me. The thing I like about their buckets is the dirt trap. really small dirt trap, traps a lot of dirt in there. So you can just get whatever buckets you like to your liking. Something inexpensive but does the job. I'm going to use my Ryobi power washer here that I got from the Home Depot. And I do love the hose. I think the brand is called Flexzilla. Best hoses out there. Does not kink. Resist kinking mostly. Great hose. I do recommend those. I even have a garden hose that I just purchased that is a Flexzilla garden hose. I also like a lot of Griot's garage products now. I use that for cleaning inside the car, the leather and the interior clean. And I'm going to be trying, as I've heard a lot of recommendations about this Griot's garage engine cleaner and the way it foams up and cleans. It's supposed to be really, really good. So we're going to hit the engine bay with this now. This is the new hose I just purchased. The Flexzilla. Really nice stuff. I don't know what it's made out of or what their construction type is, but it's super soft. Which I know has no bearings on anything, but maybe that's why it's so flexible. Going to be sticking it on my hose wheeler here, and just like that, it's on the hose reeler. Here's what the finished product looks like on the roll here. I recommend rolling it with it fully under pressure, as it is a new hose and it's hard to get out of its roll because it'll kink up. Any new hose does that. And then if you want to have a roller like I have here, of course I need some new front tires. I only got the rear. The Harbor Freight only had 2 left, so I need to go back or find a different Harbor Freight and get 2 more solid rubbers for the front. Other than that, this is a combination I use here. I also like these quick disconnect styles because it's easier to get the hose or your pressure washer on and off. I have those ends on my pressure washer here too, because it's easier to get it undone. There's what the bottom one fitting would look like. It's just easier to get them undone so you can take it apart every time. Make sure your engine is cool, not hot when cleaning your motor. Just spray everywhere and gently agitate. If you have one of those little bore head brushes that are long and round, that's the one I recommend using. I do not have one at this moment. Mine was getting old and the hairs were starting to fall out, so I'll need to order another one. I will have one in the description here. Just spray everywhere and kind of agitate, and then you're going to hose it off. And again, you'll do this before you wash your car because you're going to get some of it on your car probably. My motor's not all that dirty. It's mostly dusty. Again, I guess I'm being OCD about it. I do love a clean motor, the clean engine bay. So yours maybe needs more spray than what mine's did. It may have more grime, and it may foam up more on yours. Mine is, again, is not all that greasy. Just be careful around the electronic battery, electronic components, and it'll foam up better the more you spray. So this is what I was telling you why I like these. It's on already. Very simple. Easy peasy. Again, you may want to wet your motor first. It looks like it would sud better on a wet motor rather than what I've did. It's the first time, to be honest with you, of my using this product. I just read that it's really good stuff. Looks like my engine's fairly clean now. Kind of a top tip here now, what I normally do to dry the car, would work great in the engine bay, would be to take your leaf blower out and just give it some action. When it comes to doing a foam cannon, I recommend a shorter style gun. That big long wand I just had on, it doesn't cut it, it gets too long on the end. So you'll want a shorter style gun here. Get something premium that feels like it's made out of something good. Because if you cut corners on this end, it just doesn't last too long. You'll want a good assortment of nipples here. I usually fill this pretty full and put my soap in at the end. If you put your soap in at the beginning, it will over foam and you won't get enough water. And this soap here, it does mega foam, so you won't need a lot. You'll have to figure out how much you want. Kind of smells like bubble gum. About 1.5 is what I normally do here. I do 1 to 2 of these in a bucket. We're going to do the 2 bucket method here. For those of you who may not know what a 2 bucket method is, that's where you take 1 bucket and have water only to clean your rag off, and then you take the 2nd bucket and you do soap and you rinse your rag off after every so often in the clear water, only putting it back into the soapy bucket when it's clean, so your soapy water is not getting contaminated. What I do here is I take the white bucket that I have and I make that the soap bucket. Common sense, you know, white is soap, foam. And I take the clearer bucket here and I make that the clear water, dirty water, eventually bucket. Fill it up about a little over 3/4 of the way. On the white bucket, this bucket you'll fill to whatever your liking is, the clear bucket. Now, if you have a high pressure, these electrics aren't very high pressure, but if you have a super high pressure gas powered one, you'd want to watch on your fender. I got real close with this nipple. Of course, I'm only using a 40, so the finer the nipple, the more pressure you're going to have. And you see, this is one of those good hoses. It's not knotting. It would already be crinkled if it was one of those other hoses, I believe. I tend to use the orangish colored yellow nozzle. It's only a 40-degree angle, I believe, so if you want something with more pressure, that's on you. So now this is Brake Blaster, not Echo Wheel Cleaner. I just did not get a new bottle to put it in, which I should probably get a no-name bottle and write on it. But I thought, well, I would just save the money and use the other bottle. I did not care for this Ecotech Wheel Cleaner. To each their own. You'll take your clean water bucket. Sorry if you're hearing the air conditioner unit. You'll take your clean water bucket here. Now that we've rinsed the whole car down and your mitt and your, where's the Daytona? What I do is I take my clean water bucket, my flat wheel cleaner, my brushes, my PB brake, P&S, I mean brake cleaner, spray it everywhere. Take this brush here, I brush my tires. You're going to want to stand back because it will get brake black brake water on you when using this brush here to clean with. Make sure you get in all the crevices. That's why I kind of like this versus the wheel woolies. This gets in them a little better, I think. You can rub your brakes if possible. Calipers, I mean. And you'll repeat on all the rest of the wheels. So now you'll want to rinse out all your wheel sponges. Get your dirty water out to put your clean water back in to go with your clean water bucket, to become your clean water bucket again. Now we're going to rinse the car off again. What do you think of my new white GR86? We're going to take our sponge here now in the soapy water. We'll start on the roof. You should always start at the highest place and work down. I know you may say, well, he's already got enough soap. Maybe I don't. This is what I like to call the deep cleansing method. After a super dirty time, full on detail. Now we're cleaning our sponge out. Removing all the dirty water back to the clean soapy water. And then, like I said, you just work your way down. Now that we've done the top, we can work our way down here on the car. We're going to get the windows next over here. Or on the other side, I should say. Then just let it hang there so you don't waste as much water. Is what I like to do, at least. Or you'll be filling your bucket up a lot, running out of soapy water. I always wear flip-flops unless it's cold out when washing my car. That way your shoes don't get sopped with water. And just all the way around the car. Then just rinse it off again from the top down. Now what I kind of do here now is I kind of cheat the process. All that passed out with the air dryer. Now if it's not a hot day, you can use an air dryer and you can air dry your car off like we did the motor. On a hot day you'll get water spots. So you want to use a good rag like I've got here. Not sure where I purchased this rag. I think it was one of those as seen on TVs. I'll try to find it and put it in the link in the video, because it is my favorite rag I've ever purchased. Seems to absorb the most. So you want to get the tops of the car first, of course, and the windows. Such a big rag, you can just take it with 2 hands. Make sure you don't touch the ground with it, or you'll dirty your rag. Then I take a different rag, and if your wheels are still wet, which it looks like mine dried, I kind of blew them off with the blower. One for wheels only, because of course you're going to get it black by drying the wheels, even though you think you did all you could do to get everything clean. There's always a little bit that you missed. I'm always in the quest of a better product, so if anybody knows a better product than the ones I've tried or can recommend something, do it. That would be great. But I've tried a lot, so if I've already tried it, I've already tried it, and I'll shine it. But if I haven't, I'll try it and let you guys know. I like to get in the door jambs too, to keep my door jambs clean. And I do the same thing under the hood. Of course, my blowing the car off a little bit took a lot of the water out of these channels here. So there's not a lot of water to wipe or blow onto your car when you start driving away after your wash. You can go in here then, wipe everything down here that your blower didn't get or that came back in when you washed your car. And if you wanted, you could have used the engine cleaner degreaser on the under the hood if you're really greasy and dirty there, which you know I'm not. For the leather areas, like up in here on the premium editions, or maybe even back in here, I find it even works on good on leatherette, is I use the Griot's Garage 3-in-1 spray. I just kind of spray it on my rag. Maybe a big surface like this I would spray, but up in here on this thin strips, I would spray it on my rag and then wipe it in. But anywhere in here, I just kind of spray it. And then on the areas that are just plasticky or vinyl or rubber, like this console here is a plastic, this here is a rubbery, I don't know if that's leather, I'm gonna spray that dressing on it. Maybe I'll put this because it's soft up there. And I know I'll put that rubber, vinyl and rubber cleaner here, rubber dressing on these here to keep them soft. The door, around the door, the rubbers that seal the door. But this is my, I pretty much like all the Griot's Garage. Again, I've tried a bunch of different brands of stuff, and this is what I've chose. It's to each their own here. Everybody likes a little something different. You can tell it's really dry back here. You can tell it's dry. Just gonna rub it in. Again, I do this once a month or once every 6 weeks, so my leathers don't dry out. I mean, it got this way because the windows was down on the track, I think. They make a cream bottle that I want to try. Comes in a bottle with a little nipple on the end. I get the feeling that maybe that would do a deep absorption. You should maybe do that every now and then. A deep absorption onto your leather. I don't know how much of it goes through, because a lot of this leather stuff now has a coating sprayed on top. So I don't know how much can go through that coating. This stuff I like on these floor mats that I bought here that I told you guys about in another video. The Tux mats, if you haven't seen that video, I recommend you watch it. These are great mats, boy. Wish I had them in all my cars. Woo! Slipped on the rock there. Woo! That was a ride and a half, boy. I know, I'll come back on these doors here. I think those might be leather, but I'm not sure if they're leatherette or not, but I'll put some leather on that treatment. That's soft, so the soft stuff. I'm going to put a little of both on the soft stuff here on the door. I'm not sure what this is made out of. Comment below if you know. Almost wish or wonder if this would have been gaudy, if this was this color, to match the stitching. Again, this rubber and vinyl, really good on these mats here. I think I'm gonna buy a gallon of that stuff. I just love it. Not sure what these mats are made out of. They feel like a weird texture to them. So they're not quite like a WeatherTech. Seems to be it. Oh, almost forgot to clean the windows. For window cleaning products, I recommend this invisible glass cleaner, along with the Rag Company's, it's like a waffle weave for windows. Really works good together. And that Griot products kind of smells like a leather, has a leather smell to it. In combination with the rag and the spray is how you get the streak free. It truly is a streak free. I just kind of go over it a couple times here. And then if you want, you can take the dry side of the rag here. Rub it with the dry side as well. That'll take any streaks off of the glass here. On the inside here. You can do the outside unless you have a chemical on it for like a Rain-X type stuff. It's getting ready to rain out, so I had to pull the car here into the I call it a garage, because all it's missing is a front and a door. Some people might call it a carport. I do want to stick a top on it here to cover in the V, the upside down V or the peak, kind of like that one has, but I don't want the sides on it. I just want the top. That'll protect from some of the stuff coming in because it's pretty close to the building here. So maybe someday, maybe before next summer, I'll get that added. That is going to conclude today's video. I want to thank everyone for subscribing. I've met the 1,000 subscriber mark, and that means the world to me that I get that many subscribers to want to view my videos on a weekly basis. Making videos is not easy, but it makes me feel good when people comment nice things and watch my videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, treat others how you would want to be treated. Have a good week.